Welcome to the journey of a lifetime, the journey of daily self-education. In a world changing faster than ever, the one who learns every day doesn't just survive, they thrive. So grab your notebook, tune your focus, and let's unlock the power of continuous learning. The power of continuous learning. Why do some people never stop improving? Because they've discovered the secret of continuous learning. Learning isn't just for school. It's the foundation of personal freedom, career growth, and emotional resilience. When you commit to learning just 30 minutes a day, you don't just add knowledge, you compound it. And compounding, as Einstein said, is the eighth wonder of the world. We live in a time where the half-life of knowledge, the time it takes for half of what we know to become outdated, is shrinking. Jobs are evolving, technology is leaping, industries are reinventing. And here's the hard truth. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But if you commit to learning every single day, you become more than just informed. You become adaptable, valuable, and unstoppable. It's not about school, it's about life. Let's be honest, many of us left school thinking learning was over. But real learning begins after the classroom. It's when you read a book that changes your perspective. It's when you hear a podcast that sparks an idea. It's when you reflect on a mistake and grow from it. Continuous learning isn't about grades, it's about growth. It's about feeding your mind the way you feed your body every single day. Real-world success stories. Want proof that daily learning changes lives? Elon Musk taught himself rocket science by reading and asking questions. Oprah Winfrey reads every day and credits books for shaping her success. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading and thinking. These people didn't get lucky, they got curious, and they never stopped learning. The science behind learning every day. Neuroscience shows that our brains are not fixed. They're plastic, meaning they can change, grow, and rewire at any age. Every time you learn something new, you build new neural pathways. You literally reshape your brain. And here's the magic. The more you learn, the easier it becomes to learn more. It's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. You don't need hours, you just need intention. You don't need hours, you need intention. 10 pages of a good book, 15 minutes of an insightful podcast, one new idea written in a journal. That's enough to start momentum. Learning isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about feeding your mind the way you feed your body every single day. The compounding effect. Let's do some quick math. If you learn just one new thing every day, that's 365 new skills, ideas, or insights a year. Now multiply that over 5 years, 10 years. That's not just personal growth, that's transformation. Knowledge compounds faster than money, and the interest never stops paying off. How continuous learning boosts confidence and resilience. Ever feel stuck or unsure of yourself? Learning gives you a way out. The more you know, the more confident you become. You feel prepared, capable, resilient. When the world throws curveballs, you don't panic, you adapt. Because learning is your secret weapon against uncertainty. It's never too late to start. Maybe you feel like you're too old or it's too late to change. Let me tell you this. The best time to start learning was yesterday. The second best time is today. Whether you're 16 or 60, your brain is ready. All it needs is your permission to grow. The mindset shift from know-it-all to learn-it-all. The smartest people aren't the ones who think they know everything. They're the ones who know they don't and are excited to learn more. Shifting from a know-it-all mindset to a learn-it-all mindset is what separates those who stay stuck from those who soar. Learning is everywhere, not just in books. You don't need to sit in a lecture hall. Learning is everywhere. Watch a documentary, listen to a TED Talk, reflect on a failure, ask someone smarter than you a good question. Every day is a classroom, if you choose to see it that way. Call to action. Build your daily learning practice. So how do you start? Make learning part of your routine, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Choose topics that excite you. Reflect and apply what you learn. And most importantly, stay curious. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. Closing. Your future self will thank you. The person you want to be, wiser, stronger, more successful, is waiting for you on the other side of continuous learning. Every book, every podcast, every insight brings you closer. So start today. Learn something, anything. Your future self is cheering you on, because the best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. How to build a daily learning habit. Do you ever wish you could learn something new every day without feeling overwhelmed or losing momentum? The truth is, you can. Building a daily learning habit isn't about forcing yourself to study for hours. It's about small, consistent actions that turn knowledge into a lifestyle. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how to build and stick to a daily learning habit that transforms your life. Why daily learning matters. Let's be real. The world is changing fast. New technologies, new skills, new challenges, they're arriving daily. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But those who learn every day, they're evolving, advancing, not just surviving, but thriving. Daily learning is your ticket to adaptability, relevance, and long-term success. And the best part? Anyone can do it, starting today. Start small, the 10-minute rule. The biggest mistake people make when trying to start a habit is doing too much too soon. Instead, use the 10-minute rule. Start by dedicating just 10 minutes a day to learning. That's it. Read a chapter of a book, watch a short TED Talk, listen to a podcast episode during breakfast. Small steps build strong habits. And once it's easy, you'll naturally want to do more. Choose your learning style. Everyone learns differently. Are you a reader? Grab a book or an article. Prefer audio? Try podcasts or audiobooks. Visual learner? Watch educational videos or documentaries. Kinetic tactic? Take a hands-on course or experiment with projects. Find the format that excites you, not bores you, because enjoyment fuels consistency. Stack your habit. Make learning part of your routine. One of the most powerful strategies for habit building is called habit stacking. This means attaching your new learning habit to something you already do. For example, after you brush your teeth, read for 10 minutes. During your morning coffee, listen to a podcast. On your daily commute, play an audiobook. When you anchor your learning to existing habits, it becomes automatic. Create a dedicated learning environment. Environment shapes behavior. If you want to build a learning habit, make your environment learning-friendly. Keep a book on your desk or nightstand. Download your favorite learning apps to your phone. Bookmark learning websites or YouTube channels. Remove distractions. Create a space where learning feels natural, not forced. Use a learning calendar or journal. Want to stay consistent? Track your progress. Use a calendar to mark off learning days, like a don't break the chain method. Or keep a learning journal where you jot down what you learned, one takeaway, how you'll apply it. Tracking makes progress visible, and visible progress keeps you motivated. Set micro goals, not huge expectations. Big goals can be inspiring, but they can also be intimidating. Instead of saying, "I'll finish 50 books this year," start with, "I'll read 10 minutes a day. I'll learn one new thing daily." Micro goals are achievable, and achievement builds confidence, which fuels consistency. Reward yourself for consistency. Let's face it, we all love rewards. After a week of consistent learning, treat yourself. Maybe it's a movie night, or a fancy coffee, or just writing a note to yourself, "I'm proud of me." Rewards reinforce behavior. Celebrate the small wins, because they're not small at all. Accountability makes habits stick. Don't go it alone. Tell a friend or family member about your learning habit. Join an online community or forum. Even post your journey on social media. When others know, you're more likely to follow through. Plus, you might inspire them to start their own learning habit. Make learning relevant and fun. Learning doesn't have to be boring. In fact,
It shouldn't be. Choose topics you're passionate about. Want to understand how the stock market works? Learn it. Love history or space exploration? Dive in. Curious about psychology, marketing, coding, or storytelling? Go for it. When learning feels like play, you never want to stop. Expect some missed days, and that's okay. You won't be perfect. Life happens. You'll miss a day here and there. But missing a day doesn't mean you failed. What matters is coming back the next day. Forgive yourself. Refocus, restart. That's the mindset that builds long-term habits. Use apps to stay consistent. Technology can be your greatest ally. Try apps like Blinkist for book summaries, Anki for spaced repetition, Habitica for gamified habit tracking, Notion for learning logs and reminders. Use tech to your advantage. Set reminders, track time, measure streaks. Apply what you learn every day. Learning isn't just about knowing, it's about doing. If you learn about time management, apply it to your schedule. If you study communication, try it in a conversation. The more you use what you learn, the more it sticks, and the more motivated you are to keep learning. The habit that changes everything. Daily learning isn't just another habit, it's a foundation habit, one that makes every other area of life better. It builds confidence, sharpens your mind, and opens doors. So start small, stay consistent, keep it fun, and watch as your world begins to expand, one day, one lesson at a time. Because the person who learns daily wins daily. Best books for self-education. Books have changed lives, shaped revolutions, and turned ordinary people into extraordinary thinkers. In a world flooded with information, books remain the most powerful tools for self-education. But which books truly make a difference? In this video, we're diving into the best books to supercharge your self-education journey. Books that inspire action, build mental muscle, and teach you skills that school never did. Why books are still the best teachers. Books are timeless. They don't interrupt you with notifications. They don't demand likes or comments. They invite you to think deeply, reflect personally, and grow intentionally. Unlike a quick social media scroll, a great book gives you depth, and with depth comes wisdom. Reading is a conversation with the greatest minds past and present. And in that dialogue, we transform. Self-education equals reading with purpose. Reading for fun is great, but reading for growth, that's self-education. The key is to read with purpose. Pick books that challenge you, teach you, and help you see the world differently. Don't just read, engage. Take notes, pause and reflect. Ask, how can I use this? That's how reading becomes learning.
Top books that change the way you think. Let's start with Mindset, the foundation of all learning. Mindset by Carol Dweck. This book teaches the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. It shows you how to embrace challenges and failures as stepping stones, not setbacks. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. This classic isn't just about productivity. It's a manual for building character, purpose, and discipline. Deep Work by Cal Newport. In an age of distraction, this book helps you reclaim focus and get more done by working smarter, not just longer. Books that teach you how to learn. Want to get better at learning itself? Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown. Backed by science, this book explains why rereading and cramming don't work, and what does. The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. From chess prodigy to martial arts champion, Waitzkin shares powerful strategies on how to master anything. Ultra Learning by Scott Young. This book gives you the blueprint to teach yourself anything, faster and more effectively. If you want to learn how to learn, these books are a must. Books that build real-life skills. Now let's talk about books that give you tools, not just theories. Atomic Habits by James Clear. A modern masterpiece on how tiny changes create big results. It's practical, actionable, and insanely powerful. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Learn how to think about money, risk, wealth, and behavior, even if you're not into finance. So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. Forget Follow Your Passion. This book teaches you how to build rare and valuable skills that the world pays for. Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. A wake-up call to reclaim your time, focus, and mental space in a tech-dominated world. Books that expand your worldview. Some books don't teach you a skill. They change how you see the world. Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. A sweeping history of humanity, filled with insight into how we think, live, and connect. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Discover the hidden forces behind success, from culture and upbringing to timing and opportunity. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. A powerful guide to overcoming creative resistance and doing meaningful work. These books don't just inform, they transform. How to choose the right books for you. Feeling overwhelmed by options? Here's how to pick the right books for your journey. Identify your goals: career, creativity, confidence. Pick books that match your stage: beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Follow curiosity. If a title excites you, follow that spark. Don't read what everyone else is reading. Read what you need. Make reading a daily practice. Books can't change your life if you don't read them. So make reading a habit. 10 pages a day equals 12 books a year. 30 minutes a day equals a college-level education over time. Use moments that often go wasted: waiting in line, commuting, winding down at night. Consistency beats intensity. Make reading part of who you are. Use tech to read more. Want to read more in less time? Let tech help. Use Kindle or e-readers to carry books anywhere. Try Audible or audiobooks for learning on the go. Use Blinkist for book summaries when you're short on time. It's not about reading fast, it's about reading smart. Track what you read and reflect. Keep a simple reading journal or use apps like Goodreads to track your books. Write down the main idea, favorite quotes, how you'll apply it. This turns reading into growth and helps you remember and reflect long after the last page. Closing. Your library is your legacy. The books you read become part of you. They shape how you think, speak, and act. They influence the decisions you make and the life you build. So don't just read to finish books. Read to finish better versions of yourself. Because your library isn't just a shelf, it's your legacy. And self-education, it begins one page at a time.
Podcasts and audiobooks are your secret weapon for personal growth. Imagine learning life-changing ideas while commuting, cooking, or even walking your dog. That's the magic of podcasts and audiobooks. They've turned idle moments into personal growth opportunities. In today's video, we'll explore how podcasts and audiobooks can upgrade your thinking, expand your knowledge, and become your secret weapon for lifelong learning. So, plug in your headphones and let's dive deep into the sound of success. Why podcasts and audiobooks work? Let's face it, we live in a fast-paced world. Not everyone has the time to sit with a book for hours. But here's the truth. You don't have to. Podcasts and audiobooks make learning flexible, mobile, and accessible. You can listen during your workout, while commuting, or winding down at night. Studies show that we retain a surprising amount of information from audio learning. In fact, audiobooks activate the same parts of the brain as reading print, the language processing and imagination centers. That means when you listen to a book, your brain is still creating images and connections, just like reading. Podcasts, the power of ongoing conversations. Podcasts are like sitting in on a conversation between experts, thinkers, and everyday people who've learned something valuable. They're timely, often personal, and usually packed with practical insights. Some of the best personal development podcasts deliver daily or weekly motivation, help you break bad habits, build better routines, or think more deeply about success. For example, The Tim Ferriss Show dives into the minds of high achievers and breaks down their habits. The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes explores what makes people emotionally, mentally, and financially successful. Optimal Living Daily summarizes some of the best self-growth blogs in audio format, short, powerful, and easy to digest. And the best part? Most of them are free. That means unlimited access to real value, anytime, anywhere. Audiobooks, turning books into experience. Now let's talk audiobooks. Some people find it hard to finish a book. Life gets busy. But audiobooks solve that. They bring the author's voice, literally, into your ears. You can finish 1 to 2 books a week just by listening during downtimes. Think about this. Instead of scrolling social media during your break, what if you listened to a chapter of Atomic Habits by James Clear or Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins? Some top platforms for audiobooks. Audible, the king of the audiobook world with a huge selection. Libby or Hoopla, free access through local libraries. Spotify and YouTube, many classic books available for free. Whether it's mindset, productivity, finance, or communication, there's an audiobook out there that can teach you something life-changing. How to choose what to listen to. Not every podcast or audiobook will work for you, and that's okay. Your goal is to find voices that speak to your stage in life. Here's a simple guide. Want more discipline? Look for habits and routines content. Feeling lost? Try books and podcasts about purpose or mental clarity. Need motivation? Try success stories, interviews, or mindset-focused content. Also, mix it up. Combine deep topics like psychology with lighter content like productivity hacks. This keeps your learning fresh and your mind stimulated. Bonus tip: keep a listening journal. Jot down 1 to 2 insights after each episode or chapter. You'll be shocked how much you remember later. Turning listening into action. Listening is only the first step. Growth happens when you apply what you learn. For example, hear a productivity tip? Test it the next day. Learn a mindset shift? Practice it in your interactions. Hear a new perspective? Reflect on it and write about it. If you listen without action, it's entertainment. But if you apply, reflect, and adapt, it becomes transformation. Try this.
After every podcast or audiobook, ask yourself one question. What is one thing I can try today based on what I just heard? This simple habit turns passive listening into real growth. Conclusion. In a world full of noise, podcasts and audiobooks give you signal. They fill your time with purpose and your mind with fuel. Whether you're rewiring your habits, learning new skills, or just expanding your worldview, audio learning is a powerful companion. So next time you're stuck in traffic or doing the dishes, remember, you could be growing smarter, wiser, and stronger, one episode at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who wants to grow smarter with sound. And in the comments, drop your favorite podcast or audiobook. We might feature it in the next video. The role of critical thinking in learning. How to train your mind to learn smarter. What if I told you that learning isn't just about what you know, it's about how you think? In a world full of information, your real superpower isn't memorizing facts, it's thinking critically. In today's video, we're diving into the role of critical thinking in learning and how it separates passive learners from powerful lifelong thinkers. Ready to unlock your mind? Let's go. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is the ability to analyze, evaluate, and make judgments based on evidence, not emotions or assumptions. It's about asking the right questions. Instead of just accepting information, a critical thinker says, "Is this true? What's the evidence? What's missing?" In learning, this is crucial. Why? Because you're bombarded with content every day. From social media to YouTube to books and blogs, not all of it is accurate or useful. Critical thinking helps you filter the noise, identify bias, and connect ideas in smarter ways. Think of it like this. Regular learners absorb. Critical thinkers process. And in the long run, processors win. Let's look at what happens when you don't think critically. You hear a popular idea, you believe it without question, and it becomes part of your belief system, even if it's wrong. But with critical thinking, you pause, you explore other views, you seek evidence. This deeper analysis helps you understand more, remember more, and apply more. That's the difference between memorizing and mastering. In fact, studies show that critical thinking boosts problem-solving, creativity, and even emotional intelligence because you start seeing situations from multiple angles. How to train your brain to think critically. You don't need to be born a genius to think critically. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be trained. Here's how. Ask better questions. Instead of just asking what happened, ask why did it happen, or what's the bigger picture. Slow down your reactions. Don't jump to conclusions. Pause. Ask yourself, what's the source of this info? What's the motive behind this advice? Challenge your own beliefs. When you feel strongly about something, ask, could I be wrong? What would someone on the other side say? Compare multiple sources. Don't rely on just one article, video, or podcast. Seek variety. You'll start noticing patterns and inconsistencies. This mental habit of zooming out makes you sharper, wiser, and more grounded in how you learn. Critical thinking in real learning scenarios. Let's say you're learning about a controversial topic like productivity methods, nutrition, or even finance. A passive learner might say, I saw a video that said this method is best, so I'm following it. A critical thinker, they pause. They compare methods. They check results. They ask, what worked for others like me? What are the downsides? They read user reviews, check science, and consider personal fit. This active mindset turns every book, podcast, and video into a mental workout, not just a feel-good session. How to practice critical thinking every day. You don't need a classroom to practice critical thinking. You can do it every day. When you read the news, ask, what's the source? What's being left out? When you watch a YouTube video, ask, is this opinion or fact? What's the motivation behind this advice? When you make a decision, ask, what's the risk? What's the long-term effect? Also, try writing reflections after learning something new. Challenge what you learned. Explore both sides. You'll deepen your thinking and retain more. Conclusion. In a world of clickbait headlines and surface-level learning, critical thinking is your mental armor. It helps you putt through the fluff, dig deeper, and learn with real power. So if you want to grow smarter, not just louder, question more, analyze more, reflect more. Critical thinking isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. And once you master it, every lesson becomes a launchpad to higher learning. Like this video? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Comment below with one moment where critical thinking saved you from a bad decision. We'd love to hear your story.
How successful people learn every day. Unlocking daily growth habits. Ever wonder why some people just keep winning? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's how they learn every single day. In this video, we're diving into how successful people make learning a daily habit. From billionaires and CEOs to thought leaders and creative icons, they all share one secret: they never stop learning. Let's explore what they do differently and how you can adopt the same habits in your own life. Why daily learning matters. Think of learning like compound interest. The more you invest daily, the greater your return over time. Successful people understand this. They know that small doses of learning, done consistently, create massive transformation. Whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, reflecting, or writing, they keep their minds sharp. Because in today's fast-changing world, what you know today may be outdated tomorrow. To stay ahead, you have to stay a learner. Bill Gates once said, I read about 50 books a year. Warren Buffett spends 80% of his day reading. Elon Musk? He taught himself rocket science from books. They don't just learn to survive, they learn to lead. What do successful people learn? Here's the thing. Successful people don't just learn randomly. They learn strategically. They focus on mindset development, learning how to think better, emotional intelligence, understanding people and themselves, communication skills, writing, speaking, persuading, financial literacy, managing and multiplying money, health and wellness, maintaining energy and clarity, industry-specific trends, staying relevant in their field. They treat learning like fuel, and they tailor it to their mission. If you're growing a business, you study leadership, marketing, and systems. If you're an artist, you study creativity, emotion, and storytelling. Success comes from intentional learning. Daily habits of lifelong learners. So how do they actually do it? Let's break down the daily habits successful learners use. Morning reading rituals. Even 15 to 30 minutes of focused reading in the morning can shift your entire day. It feeds your mind before the world's noise kicks in. Note-taking and journaling. They don't just consume, they write down ideas, quotes, or summaries. This helps retention and sparks reflection. Listening during downtime. Podcasts and audiobooks are their background music. Walking the dog, driving to work, that's learning time. Reflection time. At night or during breaks, they ask, what did I learn today? What worked? What failed? Teaching what they learn. Sharing knowledge through blogs, conversations, or social media reinforces what they know. Learning isn't a task for them, it's a lifestyle. Making time for learning, even if you're busy. You might be thinking, that sounds great, but I don't have time. Guess what? Neither do successful people. They make time. They use micro-learning.
10 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes during a commute, 15 minutes before bed. That's almost an hour a day. Over a year, that's over 300 hours of self-growth. Instead of scrolling, they read. Instead of binge-watching, they reflect. Instead of waiting, they listen. They swap distractions for development. Start with just 20 minutes a day. That's it. The key isn't volume, it's consistency. Learn like a pro. Tools and systems. Want to learn like a successful person? Use their tools. Readwise to review and recall highlights from books and articles. Notion or Evernote to organize knowledge into digital brain systems. Pocket or Instapaper to save interesting articles for offline reading. Kindle and Audible to combine reading and listening for deep learning. They also set learning goals like finish one book per week, watch one TED Talk per day, take one online course per month. These goals aren't pressure, they're guidelines for growth. Conclusion: successful people don't stop learning when school ends. They learn harder, faster, and deeper than ever before. Why? Because they know that their future depends on what they know and grow today. You don't need 8 hours a day. You need focus, intention, and small daily actions. So, what will you learn today? Practical strategies to retain knowledge. Learn better, remember longer. Ever read a book or watched a video and forgot it days later? You're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, we consume so much, but retain so little. The truth is, learning without retention is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. In this video, we're diving into practical, science-backed strategies to help you retain what you learn, whether it's from books, courses, podcasts, or real-life experiences. Let's turn short-term learning into long-term wisdom. Why we forget so fast? First, let's understand the problem. According to the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, we forget over 50% of what we learn within an hour, and nearly 90% within a week if we don't review it. That's because our brains are wired to discard information we don't use. It's a survival mechanism. If something doesn't seem important or relevant, the brain lets it go to make room for new info. So to fight forgetfulness, you have to signal to your brain, hey, this is important. Keep this. How? By using smart strategies to revisit, reorganize, and reinforce what you learn. The power of active recall. Passive reading or watching isn't enough. If you want to retain, you have to engage with the material. One of the best methods? Active recall. Instead of rereading notes, close the book and ask yourself, what were the 3 main ideas? How would I explain this to someone else? What example could I use to remember this? You're pulling information out of your brain, not just putting it in. This strengthens memory, builds deeper connections, and tells your brain, this is worth keeping. Use flashcards, quizzes, or even voice memos. Think of it as brain training. Spaced repetition. Now that you're actively recalling, let's space it out. Spaced repetition means revisiting information at increasing intervals, 1 day later, 3 days later, then a week, and so on. Apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Brainscape use algorithms to show you flashcards just before you're about to forget them. This timing helps lock the info into your long-term memory. If you're not into apps, set reminders in your calendar to review material. Even 5-minute refreshers can make a huge difference. Repetition isn't boring, it's brain building. The Feynman technique. Ever truly understood something only to go blank when you try to explain it? That's where the Feynman technique comes in. Here's how it works. Learn the concept. Try to explain it simply like you're teaching a 10-year-old. identify gaps or confusing parts, go back, learn again, and simplify more. If you can't explain it simply, you don't truly understand it. This forces deep thinking, clarity, and retention. You're not just memorizing, you're internalizing. Try it with your next podcast, course, or chapter. It works wonders. Mind maps and visual tools. Your brain loves visuals. That's why mind maps are so powerful. A mind map is a diagram where you put the main idea in the center, then branch out into subtopics, ideas, or examples. This layout mirrors how your brain naturally connects information, making it easier to recall later. Other great tools: flowcharts, color-coded notes, doodles or sketches, infographics. Use apps like Xmind, Miro, or even pen and paper. When learning becomes visual, memory becomes natural. Use it or lose it. Here's the ultimate retention hack. Apply what you learn immediately. Read about a habit? Try it today. Learn a new concept? Use it in conversation. Hear a productivity tip? Test it tomorrow morning. The more you use information, the more your brain says, "Oh, this is useful. Better keep it." Also, teach others. Share insights on social media, write a blog post, or talk about it with a friend. Teaching is learning, supercharged. Conclusion. So remember, it's not just about how much you learn, it's about how much you remember and apply. To recap, use active recall, space out your reviews, explain concepts with the Feynman technique, visualize with mind maps, and most importantly, take action. With these strategies, your brain won't just store knowledge, it will own it.
Overcoming learning plateaus. Break through and level up your skills. Have you ever felt stuck? Like no matter how much you study, practice, or read, you're not improving? That's called a learning plateau, and it's completely normal. But here's the good news. It's not permanent. In this video, we'll break down why learning plateaus happen, how successful learners push past them, and practical ways you can restart your growth and reach the next level. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck and start moving forward, let's dive in. What is a learning plateau? A learning plateau is when your progress flattens out. At first, things felt exciting. You were gaining skills fast. But now, you're putting in the effort but seeing no results. It can happen in studying, language learning, fitness, playing an instrument, even professional growth. And it's frustrating, but it's also a natural part of the learning process. Think of learning like climbing a mountain. Sometimes the trail is steep and fast, and sometimes it levels off. That plateau is a signal, not of failure, but of transformation. Why plateaus happen? There are 3 major reasons why learning plateaus happen. Your brain adapts. At first, new information creates fresh neural connections. But once those pathways are formed, the brain becomes efficient and growth slows. Repetition without challenge. If you're just doing the same thing over and over, you stop improving. Mastery doesn't come from repetition. It comes from struggle and refinement. Lack of feedback. You may be practicing incorrectly or missing key adjustments. Without feedback, mistakes become habits. The good news is, each of these can be overcome with smart strategies. The power of deliberate practice. To break through, you need more than practice. You need deliberate practice. That means targeting your weaknesses, pushing just beyond your comfort zone, getting immediate feedback, and tracking your improvement. It's not about doing more. It's about doing it smarter. If you're learning guitar, don't just play songs you know. Work on that tricky chord transition. If you're studying, don't just reread. Test yourself on what confuses you. It's hard, it's uncomfortable, but it's where real growth lives. Change your approach.
Sometimes all it takes to overcome a plateau is to change your strategy. Try these. Switch mediums. If you've only been reading, try watching videos or listening to podcasts on the same topic. Teach someone else. Explaining forces you to clarify your understanding. Learn from a different source. A new teacher, author, or mentor can explain something in a way that finally clicks. Gamify your learning. Set small goals, reward progress, and keep the process fun and fresh. Plateaus are often a sign that it's time to shake things up. Feedback and mentorship. If you're plateauing, it might be time to get outside input. Find a mentor who's ahead of you, a coach who can push you, a peer who can challenge you. Sometimes we can't see our blind spots, but others can. Even online communities, study groups, or mastermind circles can make a big difference. Don't be afraid to ask, how can I improve? Feedback isn't criticism, it's a shortcut to clarity. Reset your motivation. Plateaus can also kill motivation, so it's important to reconnect with why you started learning in the first place. Ask yourself, why is this skill important to me? How will my life improve when I master it? What inspired me to begin? Revisit your goals. Visualize the next level. Remind yourself that plateaus are proof that you're in the game, not out of it. Set a new challenge. Try a 7-day sprint. Learn one new technique. Do something different, and excitement will return. Conclusion. Learning plateaus feel like the end, but they're really just the middle. They're the test between those who quit and those who grow. With deliberate practice, feedback, and fresh strategies, you can break through any wall. So next time you feel stuck, smile, because it means you're close to a breakthrough. Using technology to learn faster. Smart tools for smarter minds. Imagine learning twice as fast, retaining more, and doing it all from the palm of your hand. That's the power of technology in today's learning world. From AI-powered flashcards to immersive video lectures, the right tools can supercharge your learning speed. If you're ready to upgrade your brain using your devices, let's get started. Why technology boosts learning. Technology has transformed the way we learn. No longer are we limited to dusty textbooks and long lectures. Now, learning is on-demand, interactive, and tailored to your style. Here's how tech helps. It makes learning accessible anytime, anywhere. It's customizable. You can choose your pace, platform, and method. It offers immediate feedback, helping you correct mistakes faster. Whether it's a podcast during your commute or a language app on your lunch break, tech turns dead time into learning time. But to really benefit, you've got to use the right tools the right way. Must-have tools for fast learning. Let's break down the top tools successful learners use every day. Anki or Quizlet. Flashcard apps that use spaced repetition to lock info into your long-term memory. Perfect for languages, definitions, and concepts. Notion, a digital second brain. Take notes, organize lessons, create learning dashboards, and track your progress all in one place. Audible and Blinkist, audiobooks and book summaries that allow you to read while walking, commuting, or cooking. Coursera, Skillshare, edX, and Udemy. High-quality online courses from top universities and creators. Learn from the best, from anywhere. Want to go deeper? Combine these tools into a learning system. We'll talk about that soon. Speed up without sacrificing depth. Learning faster doesn't mean learning less, it means learning smarter. Here's how to increase speed without losing comprehension. Use playback speed. Many platforms like YouTube or Coursera let you watch at 1.5x or 2x speed. Train your brain to listen faster over time. Take smart notes. Use tools like the Cornell method or Zettelkasten in apps like Notion or Obsidian to create links between ideas. Chunk information. Break topics into bite-sized pieces. Learn one small idea at a time, then connect the dots. Learning becomes faster and deeper when you engage multiple senses. AI tools that accelerate learning. AI isn't just for tech geeks, it's for learners too. Here are some cutting-edge tools. ChatGPT. Ask questions, summarize texts, test your understanding, or create personalized study guides. Grammarly. Improve your writing instantly and learn better communication in the process. Speechify or Natural Reader. Turn written text into audio so you can listen on the go. Glasp or Liner. Chrome extensions that let you highlight and annotate the web and then review those highlights later. Khan Academy's AI Tutor. Ask anything in math, science, or history and get tailored explanations. With AI, your learning becomes more interactive, personalized, and lightning fast. Build a tech-based learning routine. Want to learn faster every day using tech? Create a digital learning routine like this. Morning, 10 minutes. Listen to a podcast while preparing for the day. Midday, 20 minutes. Take a short course module or review flashcards on Enki. Evening, 15 minutes. Summarize what you learned using Notion or journal it using a voice-to-text app. Weekly, track your progress, set new learning goals, and adjust your strategy. When tech becomes a daily habit, learning becomes a lifestyle. Just be careful not to let tech distractions steal your attention. Use apps like Forest or Freedom to block distractions and stay focused. Conclusion. Technology isn't a distraction, it's a tool. And when used with intention, it can help you learn faster, smarter, and deeper than ever before. From flashcards to AI tutors, podcasts to productivity apps, your learning potential is in your hands. So stop scrolling mindlessly. Start learning meaningfully.
How to apply what you learn. Turn knowledge into real-world results. You read the books, you listen to the podcasts, you watch the videos. But here's the big question. Are you actually using what you learn? In this video, we're unlocking the secret to turning knowledge into action, because learning without applying is just entertainment. If you ever felt like you're learning a lot but not seeing results in real life, this one's for you. Let's turn information into transformation. Why learning without action is wasted? Here's the truth most people miss. Knowledge doesn't create change. Application does. You can learn 100 productivity hacks, but if you don't use even one, your habits stay the same. Most people are information hoarders. They collect ideas but never implement them. They chase the next book, course, or video without ever putting the last one into practice. It feels like progress, but it's not. Real growth begins the moment you apply what you know, even if you apply just one small thing. The three-step apply formula. Let's break down a simple formula to go from learning to doing. Capture, choose, commit. Capture. Always write down what you're learning. Whether it's in Notion, a journal, or even your phone notes, keep a learning vault. Choose. After every lesson, pick one thing you can try today. Not 10, just one. Focus beats overwhelm. Commit. Turn that idea into an action step. Schedule it. Test it. Reflect on the result. Example, learning. Waking up earlier increases productivity. Action. Set alarm 30 minutes earlier for the next 5 days. Boom. You just moved from theory to practice. Build your action loop. Here's a trick used by high performers. They don't just learn and apply, they create a loop. Learn, apply, reflect, adjust, repeat. It's called the action loop, and it turns every piece of learning into a feedback machine. Let's say you learn a new habit from a book. You try it for a week, then you reflect. Did it help? Was it easy to stick to? How can I tweak it to work better? This reflection phase is what most people skip, but it's the secret to making ideas stick. The 48-hour rule. Want to apply more of what you learn? Follow the 48-hour rule. If you don't use it within 48 hours, you'll probably forget it forever. Here's how to beat that. After reading a chapter or watching a video, pause and write down one action you'll take today or tomorrow. Schedule it immediately, even if it's small. Tell someone about it. Accountability boosts follow-through. This rule forces urgency and prevents great ideas from becoming forgotten notes. Remember, action beats perfection. Just start. Teach to apply. Want to internalize knowledge faster? Teach it. When you explain something to someone else, you're forced to simplify and structure the idea, which cements it in your mind. Even if you don't have an audience, try this. Make a short Instagram story explaining what you learned. Write a tweet or post summarizing a key insight. Talk to a friend and share the concept casually. Teaching turns passive knowledge into active memory, and it helps you own what you learn. Overcome fear of imperfect action. Many people hesitate to apply what they learn because they're afraid of doing it wrong. But here's the truth. You don't have to apply it perfectly. You just have to start. Learning to cook, you'll burn something. Learning to speak a new language, you'll make mistakes. Learning to lead, you'll stumble. But that's how real learning works. Don't wait to be ready. Take messy action now. You can always improve later. Progress doesn't come from consuming more. It comes from doing more with what you already know. Conclusion. You don't need more information. You need activation. So here's your challenge. After this video, write down one thing you learned and apply it today. Whether it's a mindset shift, a habit tip, or a tool, do something with it. Because applied knowledge is power. The importance of a growth mindset. Why your beliefs shape your future. Ever wonder why some people bounce back from failure while others quit? Why some people grow like crazy while others stay stuck? The answer is simple but powerful. Mindset. In this video, we're exploring the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and why developing the right mindset is the foundation of all personal growth and self-education. If you're on a journey of learning and self-improvement, this mindset shift is non-negotiable. What is a growth mindset? The term growth mindset was popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. Here's the basic idea. A fixed mindset believes that intelligence, talent, and ability are set in stone. A growth mindset believes that those things can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. In other words, fixed equals, I'm just not good at math. Growth equals, I can get better at math if I practice. Your mindset affects how you respond to failure, how you view challenges, and whether you give up or grow stronger. Here's the wild part. People with a growth mindset learn faster, persist longer, take more intelligent risks, handle criticism better, and reach higher levels of success. It's not about being naturally gifted. It's about being willing to grow. Growth mindset in action. Let's look at some real-life examples. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. A fixed mindset would say, I guess I'm not good enough. But Jordan said, I'll work harder. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. She chose to grow instead of quit. Albert Einstein didn't speak fluently until age 9. Teachers thought he was slow, but he kept asking questions and pushing boundaries. These people weren't overnight successes. They had a mindset that embraced effort, failure, and learning. How to develop a growth mindset. Here are 5 practical steps to build a growth mindset. Catch your fixed mindset voice. Notice when you say things like, I'm just not smart enough. I always mess this up. Replace it with, I'm not there yet, but I'm learning. Celebrate effort, not just results. Praise yourself for trying, not just succeeded. Seek feedback and use it. Feedback isn't failure. It's a roadmap to improvement. Learn from others' success. Don't feel threatened. Be inspired. Keep a learning journal. Write about your challenges. what you tried, and what you learned. Growth mindset for self-education. If you're serious about self-education, a growth mindset is your greatest tool. Why? Because learning new things is hard. You'll struggle, you'll hit walls, you'll want to quit. But with a growth mindset, you'll say, "This is tough, but I can figure it out. I made a mistake, so now I know what to fix. I'm not naturally good at this, but I can learn." That belief is what separates lifelong learners from people who give up too soon. Growth mindset isn't just helpful, it's essential to long-term success. Conclusion. Here's the bottom line. Your mindset is either a bridge or a barrier. A fixed mindset keeps you stuck. A growth mindset sets you free. So the next time you hit a wall, remember, you're not failing, you're learning. Drop a comment below. What's one area where you're working to develop a growth mindset?
Creating a personalized learning plan, your roadmap to lifelong growth. What if you had a personal roadmap that guided your learning every day? Not some boring school curriculum, but a custom plan designed just for you, based on your goals, passions, and lifestyle. In this video, we'll show you how to create a personalized learning plan, a system that makes learning consistent, exciting, and effective. Whether you're growing your skills for your career, personal development, or simply to stay sharp, this plan will change the way you learn. Why you need a learning plan. Think about this. Would you go on a cross-country road trip without a map? Probably not. So why approach your learning without a clear plan? Here's why most people stop learning after school. They don't know what to learn, they don't have a system, they don't track progress. A personalized learning plan fixes all that. It gives your learning structure, purpose, and direction. Instead of wasting time jumping from YouTube videos to random books, you'll know exactly what to focus on and why. Step-by-step guide to building your plan. Here's how to create a personalized learning plan in 5 steps. Step 1. Define your learning goals. Ask yourself, what do I want to learn? Why do I want to learn it? How will it help me? Be specific. Instead of, "I want to learn coding," say, "I want to learn front-end web development to land a remote job in 6 months." Step 2. Choose your core topics. Break your main goal into subjects or skills. For example, web development turns into HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Step 3. Select your learning resources. Pick your preferred methods: books, online courses like Coursera or Udemy, podcasts, YouTube channels, audiobooks. Stick to a few high-quality sources to avoid overwhelm. Step 4. Build a weekly learning schedule. Decide how many hours per week you can commit, what days and times you'll study, and when to review or practice. Even 30 minutes a day adds up fast. Step 5. Track your progress. Use a simple notebook, spreadsheet, or app like Notion to log what you've learned, note challenges and questions, set weekly or monthly check-ins. Customize to fit your lifestyle. This is your plan, so make it work for your life. Are you a morning person? Study before work. Always on the go? Use audiobooks or podcasts. Prefer short bursts. Try 25-minute Pomodoro sessions. You don't need 5 hours a day, you just need consistency. And don't forget to adjust as you go. Learning is flexible, your plan should be too. Review and reflect regularly. Every few weeks, ask yourself, what's working? What's not working? Do I need to pivot? Reviewing keeps you on track and motivated. Celebrate small wins, like finishing a book or applying a new skill. Learning is a journey, not just a checklist. Example, turning theory into practice. Let's say your goal is to become a better communicator. Your plan might look like this. Book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, 30 minutes a day. Podcast, The Art of Charm, during your commute. Practice,
Journal 3 takeaways per week. Real life, join a public speaking club or practice conversations weekly. Now you're not just learning, you're applying and growing. Conclusion. The best learners aren't the smartest, they're the most intentional. Creating a personalized learning plan puts you in control of your growth. Start small, be consistent, adjust as needed, and watch how much progress you can make in just a few months. What's one skill you're adding to your learning plan this month? Drop it in the comments. How to stay consistent with learning. The secret to long-term growth. Learning something new is exciting at first, but staying consistent, that's where most people give up. Let's be honest, motivation fades, life gets busy, and distractions are everywhere. But if you want real growth, consistency is the key. In this video, we'll break down simple, powerful ways to stay consistent with your learning even on your busiest days. Let's unlock the secret to long-term self-education, one smart habit at a time. Why consistency matters. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to study for 5 hours once a week. What you need is 30 minutes a day, every day. Think of learning like working out. One gym session won't change your body, but a daily habit, that transforms you. Knowledge builds like compound interest. Tiny steps today create massive results over time. So if you've struggled to stick with your learning, it's not because you lack intelligence, you just need a better system. Build a simple learning routine. The best way to stay consistent is to make learning part of your daily routine. Here's how. 1. Set a learning time. Pick a specific time each day, morning, lunch break, or evening. Attach it to a current habit, like after breakfast, during your commute, right before bed. This creates a trigger that makes learning automatic. 2. Keep it short. Start with just 15 to 30 minutes a day. You don't need hours, you need repetition. Short sessions make it easy to start and easier to stick with. 3. Use a timer. Try the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of focused learning followed by a 5-minute break. 1 or 2 Pomodoros a day is powerful. Make it enjoyable. If your learning feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. So make it enjoyable. Love audio? Listen to podcasts or audiobooks. Prefer visuals? Watch high-quality educational YouTube videos. Use apps or flashcards if you like gamified learning. Also, choose topics that excite you. Don't force yourself through boring material. Learning should feel like a reward, not a punishment. When you enjoy the process, consistency becomes natural. Track progress and celebrate wins. Nothing motivates like seeing progress. Here's what to do. Keep a learning journal or tracker. Write down what you learn each day. Mark completed lessons, books, or milestones. And don't forget to celebrate small wins, like finishing a book or applying a new skill. These small rewards train your brain to associate learning with success. Eliminate friction. Sometimes it's not lack of motivation, it's too much friction. Make learning as easy as possible. Here's how. Keep your materials ready. Book by your bed, app on your home screen. Remove distractions, silence notifications, clear your desk. Use bite-sized lessons. Don't overwhelm yourself with too much info. When learning is easy to start, it's easy to maintain. Use accountability. Want to take it to the next level? Get an accountability partner. Tell a friend about your learning goal. Share updates weekly. Join an online community or study group. When someone expects you to show up, you usually do. And don't underestimate the power of social motivation. Seeing others learn can boost your own momentum. Conclusion. Staying consistent with learning isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up every single day. Even 10 minutes of learning a day adds up to over 60 hours a year. That's life-changing. So build your routine, make it fun, track progress, stay accountable. Because when you stay consistent, your future self will thank you. Common mistakes in self-education and how to avoid them. Self-education is powerful, but let's face it, it's easy to get it wrong. You're motivated, you dive into a book, a podcast, maybe a course or two, and then you stall out. Or worse, you feel like you're learning a lot, but you're not actually growing. In this video, we'll break down the most common mistakes people make in self-education and show you exactly how to fix them. Because learning the wrong way can waste your time, but learning the right way can change your life. Mistake number 1, learning without a clear goal. This is the most common trap. A lot of people read random books, watch dozens of videos, and listen to countless podcasts, but with no direction. The fix? Set a clear, specific goal. Instead of, I want to learn more about business, say, I want to learn how to create and market an online product within 3 months. A clear goal helps you choose the right material and stay focused. Mistake number 2, consuming without applying. You binge 10 books, finish a course, listen to hours of podcasts, but never use the information. That's like reading 50 cookbooks and never cooking a single meal. The fix? Use the learn, apply, reflect model. Learn a concept, apply it immediately, then reflect on what worked and what didn't. Even one applied idea is more powerful than 100 memorized facts. Mistake number 3, using too many resources. In today's world, you're drowning in choices. Books, blogs, videos, courses. Trying to consume everything only leads to overwhelm and burnout. The fix? Pick 1 or 2 trusted sources at a time. Stick with them, finish them. Less is more when it comes to quality learning. Mistake number 4, inconsistency. You start strong for a week, then stop. Days go by, weeks, the momentum dies. Consistency is what turns knowledge into mastery. The fix? Build a daily learning habit. Even just 20 minutes a day adds up. Use tools like calendars, reminders, or habit trackers to stay on track. Mistake number 5, not reflecting or reviewing. Many learners never pause to ask, what did I just learn? Without reflection, knowledge fades fast. The fix? Take notes as you learn. Summarize what you understood. Review key ideas weekly. Teach what you learned to someone else. It forces clarity. Mistake number 6, jumping from topic to topic. One week it's marketing, the next psychology, then finance, then philosophy. This constant switching keeps you from making real progress in any one area. The fix? Focus deeply on one skill or topic at a time. Mastery requires depth, not just surface-level knowledge. Mistake number 7, learning for ego, not growth. Some people learn just to say they've read 50 books this year or to sound smart. But knowledge without purpose is empty. The fix? Ask yourself, why am I learning this? How will this improve my life, my work, or someone else's? Let purpose, not pride, guide your learning journey. Error number 8, ignoring energy and focus. You're trying to study while tired, distracted, or multitasking. You won't retain anything that way. The fix? Find your peak energy times: morning, night, lunch break. Create a distraction-free environment. Use noise-canceling headphones or focus music. Set the stage for deep learning.
Conclusion. Self-education is one of the most powerful tools you have, but only if you use it the right way. To recap, here are the 8 mistakes to avoid. No clear goal, consuming without applying, using too many resources, inconsistency, not reflecting, switching topics too often, learning for ego, ignoring your energy and focus. Now you know what not to do, so you can focus on what actually works. How learning transforms your life. What if I told you that learning isn't just about getting smarter, it's about transforming your entire life? From the way you think to the way you earn, grow, and relate to others, learning changes everything. In this video, we'll explore how the simple act of learning, done consistently, can reshape your mindset, boost your success, and unlock a version of you that's more powerful than you ever imagined. Learning changes the way you see the world. When you learn, your perspective expands. Books, podcasts, courses, they introduce new ideas, cultures, and experiences you've never encountered. Suddenly, problems that once seemed impossible now have solutions. You begin to understand why people think the way they do. You become more empathetic, more curious. Learning gives you new lenses to look through, and the world becomes richer because of it. Learning builds a better you. With every skill you learn, communication, finance, leadership, critical thinking, you become more valuable. You gain confidence, you become more independent, more capable. You stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I haven't learned how yet." This mindset shift is massive. It's not just about facts. It's about becoming the kind of person who figures things out, who adapts, grows, and evolves. Learning opens career and business opportunities. In today's fast-paced world, the people who succeed are the people who keep learning. Jobs change, industries shift, AI and tech are reshaping everything. If you keep learning, you don't just survive, you thrive. You unlock promotions, switch careers, start businesses, and solve real problems. You're not stuck waiting for someone to teach you. You teach yourself, and that makes you unstoppable. Learning sparks creativity and innovation. When you combine ideas from different fields, magic happens. A chef reads about psychology and creates a restaurant experience that blows people's minds. A coder studies philosophy and builds ethical tech that changes lives. Learning from different disciplines helps you think differently. It feeds your creativity, makes you a better problem solver, and leads to ideas the world has never seen before. Learning improves your relationships. When you learn emotional intelligence, active listening, or conflict resolution, your relationships improve. You become a better partner, friend, parent, or leader. You stop reacting and start responding with thought and care. Learning helps you connect on a deeper level, with others and with yourself. Learning makes you resilient. Life throws curveballs, job loss, setbacks, unexpected changes. But when you're a learner, you adapt faster. You ask, "What can I learn from this?" You build mental strength because you know growth often comes from discomfort. You become less afraid of failure and more excited by the challenge. Learning gives life meaning. Humans are wired to grow, to improve, to explore. When you stop learning, life feels stale and repetitive. But when you commit to lifelong learning, you wake up with purpose. You start to say, "What can I discover today?" That daily spark of curiosity makes life richer, deeper, and far more fulfilling. Real-life example. Think of someone who transformed their life through learning.
Maybe it's someone who grew up with nothing, but taught themselves how to code and now runs a successful tech company. Or someone who read books on mindset and overcame anxiety. Or a retiree who learned photography and now inspires thousands on social media. The stories are endless, and you could be the next one. Learning is the ultimate life upgrade. It changes your thinking, it grows your career, it deepens your relationships, it makes you more resilient, it makes life meaningful. And the best part? You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need curiosity and the decision to begin. So ask yourself, what will I learn today that will change who I am tomorrow? Final thoughts and key takeaways on self-education. So, here we are, the end of our deep dive into self-education. From building daily habits to mastering learning tools, developing critical thinking, embracing a growth mindset, and applying knowledge, we've covered a lot. But before we wrap up, let's slow down and reflect. Because sometimes the most powerful part of learning is understanding how it all connects.
Every day, you're faced with two options: grow or stay the same. And the truth is, in a fast-moving, ever-evolving world like the one we live in, standing still is falling behind. But here's the twist. Education doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't require a classroom, a teacher, or a textbook. It only requires you. You, the curious you. The version of you that questions the world, that reads the back of cereal boxes, that Googles things at 2 a.m., that watches YouTube not for entertainment, but to unlock a new version of yourself. Welcome to the power of educating yourself every day. In this video, you'll see how the smallest changes in your daily routine can create the biggest shifts in your success, happiness, and growth. You'll meet ordinary people who became extraordinary, all because they chose to learn. You'll discover methods, mindsets, and moments that you can use to start your transformation now. And it all begins today. Let's dive in. The philosophy of daily education. Pinpoint what is educate yourself every day. Educating yourself every day isn't about being a genius. It's about being consistent. It means you take ownership of your growth. You don't wait for permission, you don't wait for school, and you don't rely on anyone else to make you smarter, sharper, or more skilled. In the U.S., the most successful people tend to share a single trait: self-driven learning. Oprah Winfrey reads every day. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science. Jay-Z taught himself the music industry. No one gave them a syllabus. They gave themselves one, because the most powerful curriculum in the world is the one you create for yourself. Brain science. The brain is a muscle. Use it or lose it. Your brain is like a sponge. The more it absorbs, the more it wants. But if you stop feeding it, it shrinks, not physically, but in ability. Neuroscience proves that when we learn new things, whether it's a fact, a skill, or a life lesson, our brain creates new connections. These connections are like neural highways, and the more we use them, the stronger they get. It's like lifting weights, but for your mind. And the people who do this daily are mentally stronger, emotionally smarter, and often more adaptable in life and work. Why daily learning beats big learning. Have you ever tried to learn something in one sitting, like cramming for an exam, watching a 5-hour documentary, or reading a 400-page book in one day? It's exhausting. Now compare that to reading 10 pages a day, or learning one fact during lunch, or watching a 5-minute video while making coffee. Small, consistent, simple. That's how real growth happens.
Real-life stories of transformation. Story 1.
Mike the Mechanic to Software Engineer. Mike was 35 years old, working in a garage in Detroit, fixing engines, working 10-hour shifts. But Mike was curious. Every night, he watched YouTube videos on Python and web development. He didn't go to college, he had no mentors, just a cracked iPhone and Wi-Fi. Fast forward 3 years later, Mike is now a full-time software engineer for a startup in Austin, Texas. He earns 6 figures, works remotely, and builds tools that help other mechanics run their shops more efficiently. Mike educated himself every day, after work, on breaks, on weekends. No degree, no excuses. Story 2. Jenna, the baker, to food business owner. Jenna was a stay-at-home mom in Oklahoma. She loved baking cupcakes, but had no idea how to turn it into a business. She started reading articles on entrepreneurship, branding, and marketing. She listened to podcasts like How I Built This and watched Shark Tank clips during laundry time. Today, Jenna's Bakery is one of the top-rated dessert spots in Tulsa. She teaches baking on YouTube and ships nationwide. She didn't wait for permission. She educated herself every day. Story 3. Tyrone, the security guard, to financial coach. Tyrone worked nights as a security guard in Atlanta. During his 12-hour shifts, he started listening to audiobooks on finance, wealth building, and credit repair. After 2 years, he paid off $60,000 in debt. Then he began helping others. Now Tyrone is a certified financial coach with a TikTok following of over 500,000 and clients across the U.S. How did he get there? Daily education. Learning in the digital age. You don't need a library. You need a smartphone and a decision. Today, there are thousands of free and low-cost ways to educate yourself every single day. Here are some powerful tools. Podcasts, The Daily, Current Events, Freakonomics, Economics and Behavior, Hidden Brain, Psychology, The Ed Mylett Show, Self-Growth. Put them on while commuting, working out, or walking the dog. Audiobooks. Use Audible or Libby, free library audiobooks, to listen to bestsellers while you do dishes or drive. It's like turning your car into a university. YouTube channels that teach. Crash Course, History, Science, and Literature. Thomas Frank, Productivity. Ali Abdaal, Learning and Note-Taking. Kurzgesagt, Science and Philosophy. Free courses. Coursera, edX, Khan Academy, Google Career Certificates. Even 10 minutes a day of one module adds up over time. How to build daily learning habits. Learning daily shouldn't feel like a chore. It should feel like brushing your teeth, small, automatic, and essential. Habit stacking. Combine learning with something you already do. While making coffee, listen to a podcast. Before bed, read 5 pages of a book. While commuting, watch a documentary. The 5-minute rule. No time? Start with 5 minutes. Just read 1 paragraph, watch 1 video, learn 1 definition. It breaks resistance and builds momentum. Calendar it. Block 15 minutes every day and label it Me University. It's a non-negotiable. That's your tuition time. Keep a learning journal. Each night, write, 1 thing I learned, 1 question I still have, 1 thing I want to explore next. This keeps your brain in learning mode even while you sleep. Shifting your identity. You're not bad at learning. You've just been taught learning wrong. The lies we believe. I'm too old to learn. False. I don't have time. False. I'm not smart. False. You're not behind. You're just starting now. And now is the best time. The 1% rule. If you learn just 1% more today than yesterday, just one fact, one idea, one insight, you'll be 37 times smarter a year from now. That's math. That's compounding. That's unstoppable. Become a learning person. Tell yourself, I learn something new every day. I ask questions no one else asks. I challenge what I think I know. This changes how you see yourself and how others see you. Social intelligence and daily learning. Education isn't just facts, it's understanding people. Learn to listen. Every person you meet can teach you something if you're listening. Practice active listening. Ask deeper questions. Watch how people react. This teaches emotional intelligence, one of the top skills in U.S. business culture. Learn through conversations. When you talk to someone new, ask them what they've learned recently. Share a lesson of your own. Reflect afterward. What did I learn from this person? Learn by teaching. One of the best ways to understand a topic, teach it. Explain it to a friend. Make a TikTok. Post about it. You'll discover how much you actually understand and what you still need to learn.
In this final video, we're summarizing the most important takeaways from this journey, so you can walk away with clarity, direction, and the fire to keep going. Learning is a daily choice. The first and most powerful idea. Learning doesn't happen once. It happens every single day. You don't need a classroom. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to choose to grow. Even 15 minutes a day of intentional learning can completely change your life over time. Start small, but start today, and don't stop. Have a learning goal. Self-education works best when it's directed. Ask yourself, what do I want to master? Why does it matter to me? Whether it's personal growth, career advancement, better relationships, or building something new, define your why. When you know where you're going, your motivation stays strong, even on the hard days. Use what works for you. There's no one-size-fits-all method. Some people love books. Others prefer podcasts, videos, audiobooks, or online courses. Some learn by doing, others by watching or teaching. Experiment, test, adapt. Your goal is progress, not perfection. Pick the method that makes learning feel exciting and stick with it. Learning is more than information. True learning isn't just memorizing facts. It's about thinking critically, asking better questions, seeing patterns, making decisions. It's about understanding yourself and the world in a deeper way, and using that understanding to create change. Focus on mastering concepts, not just collecting content. Talk about what you learn. One of the best ways to learn is to teach or talk about it. Join forums, discuss with friends, write about what you've learned. When you explain something, you internalize it. You also discover what you don't understand, which shows you exactly what to study next. Apply your knowledge. Learning without application is like collecting tools and never using them. Whether you're learning communication, coding, psychology, or investing, the real transformation comes when you practice. Start that project. Test that idea. Have that conversation. Build something. Learning is not a theory, it's a way of life. Mistakes are part of learning. You will forget things. You will misunderstand things. You will fail. Good. That means you're doing it right. The best learners aren't perfect, they're persistent. They keep showing up, learning from their mistakes and adjusting along the way. Failure isn't the opposite of learning. It's the engine of growth. Stay curious. Stay humble.
Lifelong learners never believe they've arrived. No matter how smart or successful you become, there's always more to discover. The world is constantly evolving. New ideas, new tools, new challenges. So stay open, stay curious, stay humble. The moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. Learning is your superpower. In a world full of noise, fast change, and uncertainty, the best advantage you can have isn't talent or money. It's your ability to learn. Because if you can learn, you can adapt. If you can adapt, you can survive. And if you can survive, you can thrive. Learning makes you powerful no matter where you start. Final message. So here's your takeaway. Self-education isn't a side hobby. It's a way of life. And the people who embrace it with curiosity, consistency, and courage are the ones who transform their lives. So read that book, take that course, ask those questions, try that thing you've been putting off. You don't need permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Because the more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more you can become. Thank you for being on this journey. If this series inspired you, give it a like, leave a comment with your biggest takeaway, and hit subscribe for more powerful content on learning and self-growth. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and never stop learning.